You would think a government that is made up of the good guys wouldn't imprison so many innocent Palestinians, especially kids, as the Israeli government loves to kidnap Palestinians, claim that they're terrorists, and imprison them. Uh, since like October 7th, thousands and thousands of Palestinians have been kidnapped by the Israeli government.
Sami Al-Arian joins me now live from Istanbul. He's director of the Center for Islam and Global Affairs at Istanbul's Zaim University. Appreciate your time. What is the motivation for Israel using this system of administrative detention? Is it to extract information from detainees or something else?
Well, Israel's policy is to make sure that resistance would not exist, neither in the West Bank and, of course, not from Gaza, as we've seen in the war in the past 6 months. So part of its strategy is to detain and imprison as many Palestinian males as possible. It's been reported that over 40%.
Daily Israeli raids in occupied West Bank lead to more arrests. Uh, the West Bank isn't. So, what is the excuse of the Israeli government going into the West Bank and kidnapping people?
Of male Palestinians since the occupation of 1967 have seen the inside of an Israeli jail. That could tell you that they're trying to put it in the minds of Palestinians that resistance does not give them any kind of relief, and therefore.
Yeah, if they resist, they either go to jail and get tortured or they get murdered and considered a terrorist.
We've seen that part of the motivation for the October 7th operation was the presence of Palestinian prisoners in Israeli jails. There were about 5,500 Palestinian prisoners in jail at the time, including over 1,800 under what's called administrative detention, meaning that they have never been charged with any crime yet. They were inside the
Wow, not charged with a crime, but yet they're in prison? That is extreme fascism right there.
prisons, including children, hundreds of children and dozens of women, of female prisoners.
From what you're saying, is this more than less of a mission to extract information and more of a kind of a psyop, a mission of intimidation?
Yeah, it's a campaign of terror. They go out and terrorize people, murder innocent people, kidnap innocent people, and claim uh, that's what they can do, and they know that it will make it harder for people to be willing to try to defend themselves.
Absolutely, because Israel doesn't really need information by detaining people. These are people who have been taken from their homes. Their homes were stormed. They were dragged into these prisons. They were charged with certain crimes. Sometimes the crime would be throwing a stone. A 5-year-old child was once tried for throwing a stone. So this is part of.
Wow, a 5-year-old was charged for throwing a stone. How insane is a government to do something like a 5-year-old for throwing a stone?
The psychological warfare that Israeli intelligence agencies and Israeli military forces in the West Bank have been using in order to make sure that they can mute any
In the behavior
resistance by
of
the Palestinians.
the Israeli government to mass arrest people and strip them is common. A lot of times, innocent people and kids get caught up in it. It's very, very few times have they actually caught anybody from Hamas or something like that doing these mass strip searches.
I mean, I should point out that the concept of detaining people without any just cause, it's not just Israel. I mean, the US, the UK, where I'm from, they do it as well. But it seems to me that that is contradictory to all concepts of law and justice that we're led, we grow up believing in. How is it that a concept like this is allowed in the modern world?
Well, Israel doesn't respect any conventions, any international conventions and prisoners, and things